and welcome to another edition of the One Kindred, One Business Initiative series. My name is Kenneth Amechi. I'm a professor of business and sustainable development at the University of Edinburgh, UK. I also hold a chair in sustainable finance at the European University Institute in Florence. I'm also the chief economic advisor to the Imo State government, a role I do on a part-time basis. So today we are exploring the opportunities in ÓKÓBÍ. ÓKÓBÍ is One Kindred, One Business idea, which is championed by the government of Senator Hope Uzodinma in Imo State. The idea is to encourage kindreds, families, groups of people to create businesses. And today we want to explore how to create, manage, and grow such businesses. And I have an interesting set of panelists who will take us through this and answer our questions and address these opportunities. And I co-moderate this with Professor Jude Nzako, and who is the DG Imo State Investment Promotion Agency, and Dr. Oke Anukwem, the Commissioner for Special Duties, Imo State Government. So, but before we start, I want to share a clip that summarizes ÓKÓBÍ in ways that many of us will appreciate.
Susie, name I hope you some. What did with alone? Know your company.
You see one name, but do. Oh, you call your company with her. Namuke, ÓKÓBÍ.
I like ÓKÓBÍ. I go to Penyamazo. I will shell mania. I won't train your market.
Yabun in Bay ÓKÓBÍ. Ngwagente. ÓKÓBÍ what matoma government hiwere. Iji kochapo biam na undi madisi agara. ÓKÓBÍ ge kiwa puto hirono. Makagio, makonho bodogini ne. Nani le arianya buruburu ge. Cheputan no. Ihe ọbụla gị na ụmụnne na ụmụnna gị ndị enyi ma ọ bụ ndị obodo gị nwere ike ịgbakọta aka mepụta ya mma dịka ịzụ ọkụkọ, azụ, oke bekee, ịkọ pineapple, ịsụ mmanụ nkwụ ma ọ bụ mmanụ aṅụ na ọtụtụ ihe ndị ọzọ dị iche iche. Unu hazicha usoro eji eme ya ka ọ bụrụ ihe ga-amịpụta ego. Unu agbapụzie ya ọsọ gaa kpọtụrụ onye ji ọkwa Chief Economic Advisor n'ọchịchị steeti Imo. Ọ ga-agbazi unu olu nye unu ntụziaka hazie ụkpụrụ a ga-eji mee ya ka ọ kwụsị ike ma mịta ezi mkpụrụ. Ọ ga-enyekwa aka n'ikewapụta ohere ọrụ nye ndị na-achọ ọrụ n'obodo.
Biko nye m akara ekwentị ha ka m kpọọ ahụ ozugbo.
Ngwa were ihe dedata ya 07013512035 07013512035 maọbụ 09114360076 09114360076. Ịkpọrọ ha ị ga-enweta ọsịsa maka ihe niile gbasara ÓKÓBÍ. ÓKÓBÍ wa atụmatụ bụ ịgba Shared Prosperity Government nke Distinguished Senator Hope Uzodinma.
ÓKÓBÍ ụmụnna wike ọwụ ha agha.
So welcome back, and let me invite Elder Uzoka Hippolyte to introduce himself and what he does.
Yes, my name is Elder Uzoka Hippolyte. I want to start by appreciating Professor Amechi for the initiative, the ÓKÓBÍ initiative, and also the moderators. I thank you for bringing me to this program. I am a cooperator. I've grown in cooperative leadership, being part of the cooperative for decades. So thank you, and I want to say I can support and help the initiative. Thank you.
Okay, great. So what organization do you represent? Imo State.
I am the president, Imo Cooperative Federation, an umbrella organization of all registered cooperatives in Imo State. I'm also the national vice president of Cooperative Federation of Nigeria, the umbrella organization of all cooperatives registered in Nigeria that are affiliated to ICA Global and African region on behalf of Nigeria. So cooperatives in Imo State that are registered are all aggregated at their state federation, where I lead as the president.
Okay, so why should somebody consider to be, I think it's a membership organization, is that correct?
Yes.
So who qualifies to be a member? Is it once you are registered as a cooperative in Imo State, then you automatically become a member of your association?
You know, cooperative operates through an enabling law. Once you are registered and you are registered properly, you will have certain information which we call cooperative education. At that point, you are registered after acquiring the education, cooperative education. You are appointed to your division because every cooperative must be registered to a local government. As soon as you register and you affiliate to your division, you also be appointed to the federation. You don't need to be persuaded. It's part of the rules. But once you are registered, you have the information that you aggregate at the secondary, which is local government, tertiary, which is the state. It is a condition you must meet. But unfortunately, most people are registered today are not taught that. And that's the gap we want to bridge by creating certain levels of advocacy. Thank you, sir.
Okay, Mr. Wano, there are some people who want to be part of this ÓKÓBÍ, One Kindred, One Business initiative. Many communities who have spoken to and they have shown interest. If they want to use the cooperative model, care advice you get, and how do you encourage them to participate in your organization?
I will encourage them, if they don't want to use the CSC, to use cooperative model. Cooperative model is good. It's just that we need to do more discussion to enable them understand. One, cooperative thrives in number. It's a simple statement that goes in cooperative. It thrives in number. The more we are, the merrier. And in being more, we provide a couple of assistance. First of all, the government have registered you, said your business is tax-free business. It's a strong incentive. And within us, since we aggregate and manage ourselves, we discuss our challenges, provide solutions to them. Since we are a self-help organization, we provide access to information that will help you enhance, grow your business, either access to financing or access to more information on how to do your business. If you're in production, we'll give you opportunity to access information on how to produce better. If you are in value-added processing level, we also expose you to opportunities, compare you with other cooperatives, other businesses that are in your area. What you gain in getting involved in cooperative is more. That is why one of the principles of cooperative says cooperation among cooperatives. You cooperate first within your local government, you expand it at the state, you also expand it at the national. You will meet opportunities. If you are producing and you don't have off-takers, we'll get opportunity for you to have off-takers that will buy.
Okay, fine. So why, if you have all these benefits, right, why is it that the cooperative agenda is not popular in Imo State?
I've used a word severally, broken history. It is, but advocacy has been very, very low. And another big challenge we have is that the department that registered cooperative that have the function or responsibility to expose intending members to sound cooperative education and the principles it operates are not doing that. That also exposed the federation or the managers of cooperative in Imo State to another challenge where we.
But there are also, just sorry to cut you short, but there are also people who think that we don't have that cooperating spirit. Is that true based on your experience?
Why I would say it's not true that we have this whole history where cooperatives have achieved high goals before. It's just that the department suddenly fell in delivering their own side, providing the adequate or tutorials that we encourage those who are coming. If you don't encourage them, well, they will understand that there is collaboration.
No, in the history before, now the cooperative movement was strong in Imo State.
Southeast. What does it mean?
Okay, Southeast. Do you have examples of successful enterprises in the past that were led by cooperatives in the Southeast?
Sure.
Yeah, can share with our audience. I mean, that's an invitation because well, sometimes our people start from the fact that oh, we can't collaborate. I mean, it's better to do your individual business. Indeed, cooperate. But our history does not say that. So I just want you to throw some examples of what happened in the past so that our people can also derive some motivation from that.
Yes, they should be motivated by our history. First of all, before independence, after the war, most of the farm settlements, most of the palm oil plantations we have scattered all over Imo State and the Southeast were all developed by cooperative. Currently, most high institutions we have, like IMSU have a very viable cooperative society. They are producing table water.
Sorry, they produce table water.
Yes, table water.
What is the will I see the table water of IMSU?
Unfortunately, I cannot recall the name, but in IMSU, their cooperative is there. And because it's an institutional cooperative, their number is an advantage to them. They have access to good funds to invest. You also will remember on Onitsha Road, opposite the police mobile barracks, Imo Cooperative Federation had a property that is named Cooperative Feed Mill. That feed mill, even though it's a relic now, was producing feed that served poultry farmers in Imo, Odimo, Abia, and part of Ebonyi. In that same industrial zone, an association registered under Imo Cooperative Federation, we call it Imo State Cooperative Produce and Marketing. We have two big warehouses where we were taking palm oil producers all around Odimo State, and we were warehousing them in those big warehouses. What we were doing there was warehouse. People can still come and buy, or people can come from other regions to buy. It was a very big flourishing business. What ISMA was doing was supporting smallholders farmers with finances and of taking their produce. It encouraged their capacity. It also encouraged their output. Most of these are not there now because of the broken history I keep saying. But if we collaborate well, we can get all this in back. Because
okay, I think the point you are trying to establish is that collaboration is not new to us. We can do it. It's not alien to us as well. So Ndibo can collaborate. And somebody also mentioned on the chat that Cooperative and Commerce Bank was also a product of a cooperative agenda in the Southeast. But if we leave the history aside and come back to today, do you have good examples? Although you mentioned IMSU, do you have other good examples of cooperatives in Imo State so that we are looking for role models? Who can people learn from as well?
At Onitsha Industrial Area, we have an example, a good example. Chidi Tech, multipurpose cooperative society. They are into fabrication. It's a cooperative society that specializes in fabrication. They produce most of oil tools and farm tools and implements that are used by big farmers. They train youths through skill acquisition who want to go into fabrication as cooperative. They've done that for decades. At Ikeduru, we also have a very good example. As a division, they have been into ginger production and processing. They had a very big machine for processing donated by federal government to them. Unfortunately, during COVID, it was vandalized, and they've been making effort. Currently, we are collaborating to see how we can access funding for them to repair the processing machine. At Ikeduru, they are known for ginger production, and they also want to escalate that to other local government, other divisions, so that the machine can be put in proper use. Ginger production.
Okay, that's fine. So Onyechi Chigna and who wants to get more information, how would they contact you or your office? Because people are listening to us in different communities who may want to start cooperatives. If they need help, how can they reach you?
We have our administrative headquarters called Cooperative Center at number 3 Ebu Road, behind Chisco Transport and ABC, just opposite the big water fountain, water corporation you have there. That is our corporate office. And we also have offices at different local governments. We call them divisional cooperative council offices. If they go to the divisional council offices, they will find our local government representative. Otherwise, at our headquarters, number 3 everywhere. And you can reach me on my phone number if you insist on calling me directly. 08033210262. These are 2 ways you can contact us.
You couldn't want to query that your number because in my hair radio, just gradually can people make it with it.
080
080
210262.
Okay, also because
080 262.
Okay, thank you. Either him will taking a phone or one have you. But I think I got my organ a phone, so people were able for a good boha or on petrol have their trouble first, right? So Professor Jude Nzako, please.
Hi, Prof. I think listening to Hippolyte there, I kind of guess that there's a lot of work that these cooperatives need to do, especially somebody like Hippolyte. It's not going to be enough to simply invite people to register cooperative without proper education. I see there's a great opportunity for the economy of Imo State, for instance, to grow, to benefit from the cooperative activities. But there's need for education. There's need for those who are in charge of cooperative movements to lobby established units, lobby governments, lobby House of Assembly, so that we can imbibe the cooperative idea, the concept into everyday life. Because I've seen so many people register cooperatives. The idea they have is that it's a way or a platform to get grant, to get support. But no, cooperative is a medium of business. We need to think about it as a business. And there's a whole lot of benefits attached to it, including tax benefits. So if you're encouraging somebody to register a cooperative, you need to educate that person that they must obey business principles. And for instance, you were making reference to what happened in the past, how big cooperative societies succeeded. But we must not begin to compare what we did in the past with what can be done today. We are in a completely new era, and we must upgrade our style, our concepts, to make sure we attract the younger generation to begin to think about cooperative as a business concept. And then once we do that, then we'll be able to identify the best way forward. And I think, having listened to Hippolyte here today, the champions of cooperatives must be those people that are empowered. For instance, we have ÓKÓBÍ. And I think for us to drive ÓKÓBÍ in every community, we need to identify strong stakeholders in those communities. Strong stakeholders in the sense those that have got resources in their pocket. And they can champion the ÓKÓBÍ movement. For instance, if you want to set up a pineapple farming and you want to attract members into that cooperative, then somebody will need to have a capital to put forward. And that person will be the one to drive it. And once there are different members who are now farming, producing pineapple, that person will collate and be able now to lead. So that's what I think what's lacking, because when people come in and register, they disappear. And most cooperatives registered in Imo State today are moribund because nobody's driving them. So we need to promote more education, and even as much as partnering with higher institutions to drive home that, yes, we can do more business through cooperatives. That's what I submit at this stage.
I think Professor Jude, that's a very excellent point you've made there. But one thing I take away from it is also, instead of waiting for the government to provide the education or lobby, I mean, you can also do that, but there's also an opportunity for private actors to set up these training facilities, right? So, and it can be a form of executive education. And that's why we have these consultants on the panel today, for them also to tell us how they can tap into this opportunity. And I also like the point you made about it being contemporary and modern. Imo State is training about 300,000 Imo youths, or has planned to train about 300 Imo youths in digital technology or digital skills. So these young people are likely to be better off if they can collaborate instead of them competing individually. If you are trained on coding, another person is trained on digital marketing, another person is trained on, say, programming of some sort. Instead of you standing alone as an independent provider, if you combine and create a cooperative or a group-owned business, you're likely to have a better and stronger proposition to your clients, either in Nigeria or outside Nigeria. So that, in a way, also speaks to the realities of today. And then the other point you made about capital, the way ÓKÓBÍ is going is saying that there is capital within the kindred. Imagine the number of people who call you in a year to support them from your own village. So if you look at that money and say, I want to use it as an investment over time, an upfront investment, let's assume for the sake of argument, it's 1 million naira. And there may be 10 or 20 people like you who from time to time send money home. If you're able to muster, and even said even 50% of that 1 million is 500,000 naira. If you have 10 people provide the 500,000 naira upfront, that's 5 million naira. How much does it take to start a poultry today? You may have that 5 million naira to teach people or give people in the villages opportunities to fish as opposed to giving them fish. So let me bring in Chioma Perpetua Ajero to introduce herself and what she does, and probably she can speak to some of these opportunities and how she helps businesses of the nature we are talking about.
Greetings, everyone, and thank you for having me here. It's a privilege, and I do not take it for granted. All right, I am Chioma Perpetua Ajero, and I am the director of Pelox Integrated Modern Farm Limited, and also the convener of our Agric Inspire webinar, a monthly webinar where we inspire people into agribusinesses. Now, Pelox Integrated Modern Farm Limited is actually a private company, and we believe that together we can build a healthy and food-sufficient society through the principles of organic agriculture. Now, we do a lot of products, okay? Now, our focus is turning waste into product via the Zero Emission Waste Initiative. We call it ZEWI, and we maximize various processing methods to minimize or possibly eradicate, agri wastages that can occur via poor storage facilities. And as such, we improve food supplies in our societies. Now, what are our products? Our products and services include production, offtake, processing of both crops and livestock, and then we turn them into finished value-added products. We provide services like consultations, training, support services, mentorship, supervision on organic farming. Okay, and then in our agri webinar program, we expose opportunities in the agri sector to all, especially young people and women.
Okay, because Chioma, sorry to cut it, but do you have, what does organic farming mean? Only on a village now, no organic farming. It might sound too strange. What are we talking about here?
Organic farming, well, that kind of farming, I know before a bit with chemicals and it. All farming and I use chemicals, okay.
So that's you can use the fertilizer and pesticides. Is that what you mean?
Yes, it get used, yeah. Manon worry other affordable natural fertilizers. I know mama, I know let down I will use. We make we can with very healthy produces.
Okay. So how then how can you help communities? I mean, first of all, what sort of opportunities do you see for communities non-Imo states, given the fact that you understand the terrain? Can you feel now as a group, either in their villages or communities, and how can business support them?
Okay. My focus will in agribusiness. Okay, and in communities, in groups, a whole lot we can do as communities, we can do as a group. In the agribusiness, we can explore opportunities in the production sector. The community can come together to say, okay, I gonna produce a particular crop. Cucumber, ji, ede. Ihe ọbụla a community nwere ike tinye aka mee. And the truth, when I added dedicated ime ihe ahụ, the outcome is usually overwhelming. Okay, recently I was talking with a farmer na Umuagwo. One that no were seedling no yere the Umuagwo community, the yam seedling no yere her, and when they were harvesting it, the yam was weighing over 100 kg. And now a lot of them show well interest in cultivating yam. So imagine what can happen when they come together as a group and decide to dedicate about 10 hectares of land to cultivation of yam. That kind of yam that can give you 100 kg for a tuber of yam. You know
you know, and when space, I mean, there could also be an option where people can use their own farms individually, individual farms, but then they find a way to collaborate. Do you understand? Because some places may not have that dedicated kind of space for cultivation. But and with other options where individual families, or one plot, two plots, but the off-takers will now find a way to aggregate and take and buy from them. Can that be an option too?
Yes.
Okay. So
even cultivate in our homes. First of all, making up something that can help you as individual and also help the community. You can explore the opportunity of planting in bags. All right, you can about 1,000 bags and line them up around your compound and plant something. So imagine cultivating yam in 1,000 bags. In a few months' time, you'll be harvesting 1,000 yams, and it's in your compound.
Okay,
you didn't have to buy any land.
Okay, Choma, just hold on a minute. I think you're having a bit of a challenge with your connection. I see somebody on the chat who asked a question. It says, I'm not an Igbo speaking person. Is my presence here in an error? No, it's not an error, but we are having a mixture of English and Igbo because the audience we are speaking to is largely Igbo because airing this through radio. So please bear with us because we also want to get to the grassroots. It's not that we are averse to speaking English or we don't want to be as inclusive as possible, but in mixing English and Igbo, we're able to reach more people. So please bear with us. So before I invite Professor Jude Nzako, Chioma, I want you to tell us quickly how your organization can support a kindred or even a group that wants to go into farming of this nature. So maybe you can help them with feasibility study, can help them with their business plan, because somebody might be caught in between, oh, can we make palm oil, or can we do poultry, or can we do cucumber? So would you be able to guide them think through the options?
Yes, absolutely. And that's one of the major things we do here in Farm Limited. Okay, we collaborate with a lot of farmers. Provide consultancy service, because if a kindred is going to come together to build a business, the business is geared towards providing employment and also income. And if they're going to maximize this, there is need to get it right from the first start. And to get it right from the first start, there is need to employ the services of expert consultants that will help them set the sail well.
Are you affordable?
Very.
Okay, so maybe we reach a deal. Any person that contacts you through our program, you give them some discount. Would that be a deal?
Sure.
Okay.
Deal.
So do you want to give out your number so that people can reach out to you if they need help? I know there are communities that have come to us asking for this kind of support. And if you are there to assist them, and maybe if they can mention that they heard about you through the radio program, then that might help you give them reasonable or affordable options. Can you give out your number if you don't mind?
Okay, so here's my contact, 0806 400 9050.
You want to say that again?
Yes. 0806 400 9050.
Okay. Onye chukwane hu gị in person in one office where they can locate you.
Yes, in my office.
Okay, where can they find you?
My office is located at 303B Jukebox Mall, behind Westbrook Hotel, Port Harcourt Road, Owerri. So once you come to Owerri, try to locate your way to Port Harcourt Road, just off Hospital Road Junction.
Okay, I think they've started calling you already. That's the beauty of this program. Yeah, probably some people are calling you at the moment. But why is he on it? Professor Jude Nzako, you wanted to come in at some point?
Yes, Prof. I think you kind of already asked one of the questions, but I just need to add one more bit. Chioma, I know that you're a business person and you would probably want to make some profit in offering some of your services, but are you willing to volunteer, to be a volunteer, for instance, to support a movement, this project we are promoting, the ÓKÓBÍ? I ask this question because just 2 days ago, we had a program here in Owerri where we assembled a lot of women from rural areas that brought some produce. And I noticed from what they brought in that a lot of them are still relying the old method of farming. Some of the products they produce are the same thing that my mom, my grandmom, and grandfather were producing years back. So I believe that if we're able to teach them some modern farming techniques, like teaching them how to do the organic farming, then they'll be able to produce better things, they'll be able to look after themselves. And if we employ those techniques in promoting ÓKÓBÍ, then we will also be able to see that some communities will take that up. Because right now, most people look at cooperatives as if it's an old-fashioned thing, as if it's for old people or poor people. So we need to kind of move away from that. And the only way, one of the ways we can do that is for us to now give some education to those rural communities. And unfortunately, as we're trying to promote it, we may not have all the resources to reach out and provide this training. But with somebody like you collaborating with us, we'll be able to get this message down to the rural areas. Are you able to come on board so that we can do this together?
I'm already on board. I'm sure Prof will tell you that. I've been on board with your ÓKÓBÍ business initiative.
Without a fee, of course, I mean, without charging us.
She can support us, I think, to a point, and she has been doing so. So, but what we are pressing her now to do is to consider offering at least good rates to those who come on board. And it's also good to add that we are considering hand-holding as also, especially voluntary hand-holding, as also a way to support ÓKÓBÍ businesses. And we are encouraging our brothers and sisters who may not be in Imo State, who have good business experiences. You can adopt ÓKÓBÍ businesses and support them. They don't necessarily need to come from your village or your kindred or your towns. And somebody on the chat was saying that the cooperative business is often seen as a poor man's business. But you know, if you look at the rules and regulation guiding it, it should be run properly and as a proper business. And it's also good to mention that across the world, the cooperatives employ more people than even the conventional businesses. If you look at companies like John Lewis or Fresna Campaigner, they are all cooperatives. So, and I think we can benefit a lot from them. But before we press on and invite Chinedu and Collins, let me remind our audience about why we are here. This is the ÓKÓBÍ series, One Kindred, One Business initiative, program championed by the Office of the Chief Economic Advisor to the Imo State government and led by distinguished Senator Hope Uzodinma. So I play you the clip that probably will help even our brothers and sisters who are not Igbos to understand why we are here.
Chichi baby, now you be this longest time oh. See as you dey shine. E be like say you don get job for oil company oh.
Oil company job, ke? I no get any oil company job oh. This shine wey dey see me shine so, na as a result of ÓKÓBì.
Which one be ÓKÓBì now? Abeg go so for your babe oh. I need help bad.
Haba, now you never hear about ÓKÓBì. ÓKÓBì na one kindred, one business initiative wey go help wipe out poverty and create employment for you and everybody for your community. Check around you now, use your sense, calculate any business wey you go fit set up together with your kinsmen, community members and even your friends, whether na rice farming, palm kernel shells, poultry, fishery, pineapple production, rabbit keeping, oil production, honey production, plus other etc. Set them up as joint business with your family and friends. Then reach out to the Office of the Chief Economic Advisor to Imo State Government. Him go guide you, direct you as you go take do am. This business go work well, bring ogbonge profit and create employment for we people.
How I go fit get them for phone abeg?
Oya, call this number. You go get all the answers where you need about ÓKÓBì. 0701 351 2035. 0701 351 2035. Or you call 0911 436 0076. 0911 436 0076. Or you book appointment to get meeting to find out everything about ÓKÓBì. ÓKÓBì na the feature of the shared prosperity agenda of the Executive Governor of Imo State, distinguished Senator Hope Uzodinma.
ÓKÓBì, ụmụnna wike, ọwụ ya agha.
It's green for me.
Okay, so welcome back. Let me go straight to Chinedu. Chinedu, you started an ÓKÓBì business. Please introduce yourself to our audience and what you do.
Greetings, everyone. My name is Chinedu Nwogo. I'm MD of Posh Enterprises, and I'm also the president of New Amy Cooperative, which was set up in collaboration with the Chief Economic Advisor's Office. New Amy Cooperative is a cooperative of farmers who are from Amy in Owerri North, Imo State. Our primary raw material of focus would be sweet potatoes. Currently, in collaboration with New Amy Cooperative, my company, Posh Enterprises in Lagos, has started processing some of the sweet potatoes produced in Imo State. So as of now, we're currently processing sweet potatoes into bread. We replace wheat in bread by as much as 40 to 45%. Using white sweet potatoes, we replace it to as much as 50%. Using orange fleshed sweet potatoes, we replace it as much as 45%. So the idea is to be able to get the farmers in New Amy Cooperative to be able to grow sweet potatoes and be able to utilize this in producing bread. So our focus down the line would be to also set up not just a bakery in Imo State, but as a step further from what we are currently doing, would not only be processing it into dried sweet potatoes before we ship it to Lagos, but we're interested in getting into the entire sweet potato value chain. I'm of the belief that sweet potato can greatly help Nigeria's forex issues by helping us reduce our wheat importation. And I believe this is a crop that would not only help Nigeria as a whole, but it will help us be able to get into various value chains that we've not been able to look at here in the country.
Okay, Chinedu, from the sound of your voice, you look like a young person, right?
Yes, I am. I actually just turned 29 last week.
Oh, great. Congratulations and happy birthday.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so what Professor Jude Nzako was asking earlier on about how to make the cooperative sexy, in quote, for young people. I'm glad you're on board and you're taking this forward. So do you want to tell us about how you started the New Amy? Amy is in the Owerri North, right? New Amy Cooperative.
Yes.
What process?
Yes, well, I started in New Amy. Well, I had been interested in the sweet potato value chain for about 2 years now and converting it into bread. And so earlier this year, I came third in a competition that was hosted by the Chief Economic Advisor's Office. It is called My Dream Emo 2040. All grace to God. I'm grateful to God. I came third in the competition, and during the process, I realized the enthusiasm of members of this administration, the Hope Uzodinma's administration, and it was quite infectious. And so, when on getting to know them, I pitched the idea of the sweet potato and utilizing it as bread. And the chief economic advisor himself told me about the ÓKÓBÍ program. And for me, it's a fantastic idea. It resonated a lot with my spirit, and it felt like an epiphany for me. So it was very easy to key into. And I believe this is an opportunity because a lot of young people, most especially those who didn't grow up in the East or do not have a lot of experiences growing up in the East, the cooperative model for me offers you an opportunity to be able to move, and be able to reintegrate into your community. Because my experience so far is people in the villages want wealth. They also want to make money, but then they are also willing to help anybody who wants to come back home, who has some influence, who has some ideas, and who is looking to also create impact. So I think every young person should consider the ÓKÓBÍ program, but also specifically look around you, look at the raw materials we believe we can use to substitute a lot of the things we import into Nigeria. This will give you and it will encourage you a lot because you would immediately see the financial benefits also.
I mean, Chinedu, I never thought about it this way, but what you just described now sounds to me like what some people might describe as reverse brain drain, right? So
yes,
people leave Imo State, they go to Lagos or Abuja or further afield. And you're saying that if you're out there as a young person, probably you're a second generation out there, this ÓKÓBÍ thing offers you an opportunity to return home and reintegrate with your people. Is that, I mean, I got a sense of that. Is that what
yes,
you're
yes, absolutely. That's what I'm stating. I actually also studied in California State University in America. So for me, I'm not just even a first generation born out of Imo State. I've had experiences living in different places, studying, and different ideas. And I believe we have a lot of people like my own self. There's nothing really special about who I am. But however, our tools, our resources, our access, it's something a lot of people back home do not have. And I believe we should key into this because for me, the sweet potato value chain doesn't just end in utilizing it for products internally, but we are looking at exports. So it's an opportunity to not just make money for myself, but hopefully create impact in my community.
So how many members in that your cooperative? What was the membership?
Currently we have 10. But just this week, I was in Imo State. I met with the Eze of my community. She's a very young Eze. And then he has decided that he's going to key our autonomous community into this. So although we are currently 10, I believe by sometime in April next year, honestly, I don't think I can tell what the number would be, but there's a lot of excitement amongst my people. And this is what I believe a lot of young people should look at as an encouragement.
Fantastic. So was it difficult for you to set up this cooperative? Because sometimes people have concerns. So what was your experience like setting it up?
The structural part wasn't hard. The members of the Chief Economic Advisor's office, I would be very honest, have been extremely wonderful, and they've helped me a lot in setting up the physical, everything that has to do with documentation. However, in dealing with my own people, it's been very easy. So on one side, I'm also my youth kindred chairman. My family has always been involved with the community a lot, so I made sure to ride on that clout. So for me, a lot of people look at us and look at our involvement in the community. So it was very easy to rally a lot of people. I know that might not be very easy for a lot of people, but one thing I will tell you is even if you think you don't have enough family clout, trust me, people back home are willing to help and listen.
Fantastic. So have you been able to influence any of your friends who come from different kindreds or villages, either in Imo State or elsewhere, to consider what you're doing?
Well, I wouldn't say thoroughly influence them to set up, but I currently have a cousin in Germany, and then I have a friend who's Yoruba. He's a long-term best friend. We went to secondary school together, and then we also studied abroad together. Currently works as an investment banker in America. So I've been able to convince him to look at the idea because we really want to look at exports. So I'm not just selling this to people emotionally. I'm getting them to see the financial benefits for their own selfish sake, because I believe it's important, in serving people's own selfish benefits.
Okay. Okay, thank you very much. So what advice would you give anyone who is considering this?
My advice is there are people on the ground looking to help you, from the Chief Economic Advisor's office to people at home. However, I would say think properly, pray to God. I'm a Christian, so I'll say pray to God. But also think properly of the places where Nigeria currently spends a lot of money importing, and see how you can fill that role. For me, it's not just sweet potato bread. It's everything you used for baking, every place where we utilize flour. For me, this is not just even an Imo State or a Southeast program. This is something I hope I can reach out to all of Nigeria too, because what we've been trying to do with cassava, I believe we can do it with sweet potatoes effectively.
Okay, great. So if somebody is excited by what you've said and would like to reach out to you, would it be convenient for you to share your contact details?
Yeah, absolutely. My phone number is 0705 996 9218. 0705 996 9218. I'll give my phone number for now. You can always reach out to me, send me a message on WhatsApp. I would get back to you. You can reach out to our Instagram page, which is new.emii. That is new.amy, new.emii, new.amy. So you can reach out to me using Instagram or our phone numbers, and I would always get back to you, because I believe this is an opportunity to make great change across Nigeria.
Thank you very much. And I also know that you're a serial entrepreneur. You go into other things, including digital spaces and outsourcing. So I wish you well in what you do, and hopefully you have a chance to come back to share your experiences with us.
Absolutely. I'm always on board. Thank you very much.
Great. Yeah. So let me invite in Collins Okpara, the last but not the least, as they say. Do you want to introduce yourself and what you do?
Yeah, thanks. Thank you, Prof, for getting me on board this. And even before you ask, Prof, let me answer. You always ask that at the end, if anyone is on board. Yes, since we last spoke, I'm on board. Okay, my name is Collins Okpara, CEO of Agasarios Nigeria Limited. Our focus is lubrication, forest technology, and logistics solution. And we have a part of our business that has currently been focused a lot on consulting and also supporting small businesses with ideas, because we believe that ideas rule the world and money chase ideas. Money chase ideas. So the ÓKÓBÍ business is an interesting business, but I'll talk about the part that is kindred. And frankly, I like what I've heard from all those that have spoken before, and they've spoken a lot of what I would have said. And I belong to a few cooperatives. I mentioned that earlier. There is one that is focused on digital services and support, iConnect. And why I called it a cooperative, I will actually call it a corporation. And that's why I said I wanted to talk about the ÓKÓBÍ and the kindred part of it. The nuance is that kindred is a set of people who share similar culture and similar ways. And of course, we know that in business, it is people who share the same values and similar ways that come together and drive value. And value for kindred is the culture, is the way of life, is the support and all of that. So ÓKÓBÍ is an expanded, the way I see it is an expanded thought around that particular way of doing things, which is let people coming together. So it could be a corporation, it could be a cooperative, It could be a business union. It could be an investment group, any of it, but people coming together to make things work. First, in Africa, coming together as a union or a cooperative or whatever is actually the best or the most secured crowdfunding mechanism. The union is very important. And there must be some intentionality. Let me use the word of one of my staff. You say that intentionality, there must be some intentionality about all of these things. And for these things to be supported, it must also be data-driven. And I like the way that Chinedu put it very clearly. People don't get the impression that because Elder Ozoka has said that they are going to be supported, so people now think that it is free money. It is not free money. It is the idea that will drive this. And people and this particular scheme is saying, come with whatever idea that you have. Let it be refined into something that can bring value not only to the person, to the group, and also to the state. And I agree with that.
Collins, you want Imo State?
I'm on Imo State.
Okay, based on what Chinedu said, I mean, do you have this kind of thing in your place, or are you encouraged to start one? Because I think also you appear to be in a good position to mobilize people, even if you are not the one funding it, but people can listen to you, and then you take the message to the right people to do this in your community.
I've spoken with my siblings with an effort to set up an initiative in his name and do that. So, and we also realize the benefits and the strength of funding around this stuff. So we are putting the funds together. But the way we want to look at it is we are going to be looking at the market spaces first. That's what we are going to be looking at, the market spaces first. Then we will now begin to look at, I've already spoken with some of my friends who are doctors and professors in the agric space. They are both in Futo, in Uniport, and all of that, to provide the necessary agric extension support for these people. However, while they are doing that, I've spoken with a friend who is doing a lot of projects in Europe for processing, because when we produce, the value added part of it is where a lot of the money comes in. And so by the time we are supporting them with the ideas to produce plenty, we're also going to be supporting a lot of people with ideas to so that's actually what we are working out to do that. We are looking at 2014 to go live. That's
2024, right?
Sorry, 2024, sorry. 2024 to go live on that. Yeah.
Yes, and I'm sorry to hear you lost your dad. May he so rest in peace. And I pray what you are planning goes well. But I also understand that you help businesses as a consultant. So if anyone wants to contact you now for support, what number can they reach you on?
081 74 622 647.
Okay, do you want to say that again?
081 74 622 647.
Okay, thank you very much. Professor Jude Nzako, you've listened to both Chinedu and Collins. I don't know if you have any question for any of them or comments you want to make.
Well, I think I'd like to thank Chinedu in particular, and also Collins, for the interest they've shown in Imo State. Both of them are young people, and I believe some of the young people who are listening out there should take a cue from these two guys. One other thing I'd like to add is that we must continue to look at cooperative as a business. Every businessman or everybody involved in a cooperative should remember that it is a business. And if you're a businessman, you must know you have to have a location. You must have a name for that business. You must have a bank account. You must wake up in the morning every day and look after your business. So having a cooperative or being a member of a cooperative without actually looking at it as a business will not make it a successful cooperative. So we need to look at it that way. It's not a charity, it's not an NGO, it is a business. And that's the message I'll leave here. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Prof. Elder Uzoka, do you have like 30 seconds to say something based on what you've had so far?
I want to quickly appreciate Chinedu and inform him. After my discussion with him, I've already sensitized Imo corporators who are interested in going into sweet potato production for him to take. I've started engaging them already, and they cannot take that. That is collaboration, as you mentioned earlier. And for Professor Zako, I agree with you, there's need for serious cooperative education. And then we take it up from there. Cooperative education will help us to re-strategize, to revive, and collaborate effectively to deliver to our people. Advocacy is important now. Thank you, sir.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. Unfortunately, time is not always our friend. We're coming to the end of the program, which leaves me with a chance to thank my team, particularly Mrs. Jovita Agu, who has put this together. We also have Adeza Shaheme and Adeza Nwaka, who have continued to support even from abroad. I want to thank my co-moderator, Professor Juden Zako. I thank the panelists, Elder Uzoka, Chioma, Chinedu, and Collins. So good afternoon, everyone. And I hope the rest of the weekend goes well. And I leave you with our ÓKÓBÍ promo, so you can also appreciate what it is all about. Thank you.
Chichi baby, now you be this longest time oh. See as you dey shine. E be like say you don get job for oil company oh.
Oil company job, ke? I no get any oil company job oh. This shine wey dey see me shine so, na as a result of ÓKÓBÍ.
Which one be ÓKÓBÍ now? Abeg go sew for your babe oh. I need help bad.
Haba, now you never hear about ÓKÓBÍ. ÓKÓBÍ na one kindred, one business initiative wey go help wipe out poverty and create employment for you and everybody for your community. Check around you now. Use your sense. Calculate any business wey you go fit set up together with your kinsmen, community members, and even your friends, whether na rice farming, palm kernel shells, poultry, fishery, pineapple production, rabbit keeping, oil production, honey production, plus other etc. Set them up as joint business with your family and friends. Then reach out to the office of the Chief Economic Advisor to Imo State Government. Him go guide you, direct you as you go take do am. This business go work well, bring ogbonge profit and create employment for we people.
How I go fit get them for phone abeg?
Oya, call this number. You go get all the answers where you need about ÓKÓBÍ. 0701-351-2035. 0701-351-2035. Or you call 0911-436-0076. 0911-436-0076. Or you book appointment to get meeting to find out everything about ÓKÓBÍ. ÓKÓBÍ na the feature of the shared prosperity agenda of the Executive Governor of Imo State, Distinguished Senator Hope Uzodimma.
ÓKÓBÍ, ụmụnna wike, ọwụ ya agha.
It's green for me.